The road to WrestleMania continues as we approach the Elimination Chamber. Last week, Sami Zayn issued a challenge for Roman Reigns' undisputed Universal title. So, of course, that means this week, the part-time champion Roman Reigns isn't here. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your Smackdown review. For the 10th of October, 2023, the penultimate Smackdown before we head to Canada for the Elimination Chamber. Now, before I get into this review, I want to talk about something quickly that Paul Heyman made a comment. Was it either today or yesterday? I'm not too sure when it was, but he came out and he basically said that Roman Reigns is underappreciated. Now, this wasn't in character, or maybe it was in character, but my point is it wasn't on TV. So it was like in an actual interview, him giving his thoughts on the current product in this. And he says that Roman Reigns is like criminally underappreciated, and that Roman Reigns, based on his performances over the past couple of years, should win an Emmy award. I mean, is Paul Heyman serious? I mean, I knew he was a kiss ass, but holy shit, he's taken it a step too far here. How can he honestly believe Roman Reigns deserves an Emmy? First of all, I mean, the guy's never there. Second of all, it's the same shit. I'm the tribal chief, acknowledge me. And he's not even been the best part of the Bloodline. If we're being completely honest, it's been the standout stars have been Sami Zayn, or Sami Uso, and Jey Uso. Now, that is a fact. Now, I'm not saying Roman Reigns hasn't done a good job. I'm not saying this hasn't been the best, period of his career. Hands down, the last 3 years have been the best Roman Reigns has ever been in wrestling. Let's be honest. They spent years trying to get this guy over. They spent years trying to make this guy be popular and, make him be loved somewhat by the fans. And the way they had to do it was by turning him heel, because let's be honest, he sucked so fucking much as a face. So I'm not saying that Roman Reigns has been bad, but to win an Emmy, it's like, Jesus Christ, you know how many great actors over the years haven't won Emmy Awards? You know how many legendary actors have turned characters and just given them life in TV shows and they haven't won Emmy Awards? Yet, Paul Heyman thinks that Roman Reigns should win an Emmy for turning up every month and just holding 2 belts over his shoulders and saying, acknowledge me. Honestly, man, come on, Paul Heyman, what the hell are you smoking? But anyway, we get into the show. Paul Heyman comes out. He's got the mic, it's Paul Heyman, blah, 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 blah. He says that, he talks about predictions and spoilers, and he says he's been the man ever since he predicted Brock Lesnar would conquer the Undertaker's streak. I'm just glad we don't have to listen to him go the 1 and 21-1, because that got old and that got boring pretty damn quickly. But anyway, it's a classic Paul Heyman speech. He's saying a lot of nothing, and I like Paul Heyman. I think he is one of the better guys on the microphone, but there's so many he's just so repetitive, you don't need to hear, you hear him 1 week and you don't need to hear him for another 3 weeks. It's like, I just wish the guy had more material, and if he doesn't, then why not keep Paul Heyman part-time? Instead of having them come out and say the same crap every week, why not have less of Paul Heyman? Why not have Paul Heyman turn up on special occasions? And that would maybe make him feel, just feel more important, more relevant. It would actually make you want to listen. When Paul Heyman speaks, you'd be listening. But at the moment, all you're getting, oh, yes, my tribal chief. No, my tribal chief. I acknowledge you, my tribal. I mean, what? I mean, come on. Anyway, Heyman's talking about the island of relevancy and whatever. He says under attack, blah, blah, blah. He says under attack from Rhodes, and it's under attack from Sami Zayn. Heyman says that he calls Rhodes a dumbass, and he says that he didn't know WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes raised an idiot for a son. Heyman says it's personal. Heyman says it couldn't be any more personal. Then Sami Zayn pops up, and Sami Zayn says that things aren't the way they were a month ago. If it was a month ago, he says that Solo Sikoa would have spiked him by now. Jimmy would have hit him with a super kick. Jay would have been out here. But he says none of them are here. And then he tells Heyman that he doesn't need to worry about Rhodes because he's the one that is going to dethrone Roman Reigns. And then he hugs him tight and basically tells him to tell Roman that he's coming for him. I mean, it was an okay opening segment. It wasn't fantastic. It was just okay. Then we go to Hit Row versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, or as I like to call them, Shit Row, because they really are shit. Sheamus wins with a brogue kick to Adonis, gets the 1, 2, 3. Then after the match, the Viking Raiders, via Titantron, via taped segment, challenge, the Sheamus and McIntyre for a match next week again. Who really cares? I don't. I mean, they just had the Viking Raiders lose like a couple weeks ago. I mean, the Viking Raiders were unbeaten for over a year, and then they lose out for no reason whatsoever in that tag team title tournament. It was dumb. Why have them lose like that? I don't know. Why would they have them lose like that? It makes no sense to me. Then we got Lacey Evans versus Carmen Jerez. No idea who this chick Carmen Jerez is. Looks like a local talent. I mean, Lacey Evans, she's had failed push after push after push. Her attire's pretty good, lots of cleavage, army chick, whatever, but I just don't care for Lacey Evans, I really don't. But she wins with a woman's right, and then hits the Sergeant Slaughter rear naked cobra clutch or whatever it's called. So big win for her. Referee was trying to pull her off after the match, and it just looked a bit pathetic that the referee can't pull Lacey Evans' arms off of somebody. I mean, this is a grown man, and he can't even break the hold, And I know you could argue, well, he wasn't really trying, and he's not really allowed to put his hands on Lacey Evans. It was more of a... Did I just call her lazy? She is a bit lazy. This whole company's lazy. Lacey Evans, I mean, I guess you could argue he's not allowed to put his hands on her or whatever, but still, I mean, come on. It didn't look too good for him that he can't basically break the hold. Then we get Jimmy backstage with Paul Heyman. Jimmy says he's not been able to contact Jay all week. Heyman's a little bit pissed off that Jimmy never came out to help him. Jimmy says he's been busy, trying to get through to his brother. Jimmy is talking about how he doesn't know what he's going to do tonight. Jimmy then says that Heyman can team up with him to defend the titles, and Heyman pretty much tells Jimmy that he's on his own. So it looked like maybe we're beginning to see cracks in the Bloodline here. The Bloodline maybe not as together as they once were, because Roman isn't here, Solo Sikoa isn't here. Earlier in the night, when Sami Zayn came out to confront Heyman, Jimmy Uso wasn't there to help, and now Paul Heyman has told Jimmy that he can just basically go it alone tonight. So yeah, it's a friction. Is the Bloodline falling apart? Perhaps. Then we get Chelsea Green backstage. We have Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce talking. Sonya Deville's complaining how she's not in the chamber match, and that's just when Chelsea Green comes up. Chelsea Green then tells Adam Pearce that she wants to speak to the SmackDown manager because she wants to make a complaint about the Raw manager. I thought that was pretty funny. Pierce says that he is the SmackDown manager. Chelsea says that she has facial amnesia and she didn't realise. She thinks that Pierce is discriminating against her. Pierce says no. Chelsea Green tries to team up with Sonya Deville here, but Sonya Deville says there is no us and there never will be. And then Pierce basically says, look, you both want special treatment. I'm sick of this. How about you earn your opportunities? And Pierce says, since you have so much in common, he puts them in a tag match tonight against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and both women don't seem happy about it, so it is what it is. Then we get the SmackDown Tag Team titles, Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Jimmy comes out by himself. The referee's about to start the match, and then we get Jay coming down from the crowd. Jay and Jimmy reunite in the ring. Then they have the match. Decent match, and in the end, Jay Uso hits an Uso splash from the top rope after Ricochet hit the shooting star press, and he gets the 1, 2, 3. The Usos retain. The Usos embrace in the middle of the ring, and they are still the tag champions now for nearly 600 days. So quite a long time. We go backstage. Rey Mysterio says that Karrion Kross is an evil human being. Rey says he's been the underdog his entire life, and that's not going to prevent him from winning the Fatal 4-Way tonight and going on to become the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. So, is what it is. Back for the break. This was our backstage. Jay says he's got his brothers back every day of the week. They're twins. He would never leave his brother in the dark. Jimmy says it's been hell since Jay's been away, so you in or you're out. Jay says he doesn't know, then he walks off. And we get Paul Heyman like just watching on, and then he asks Jimmy what did Jay say, and then Jimmy says Jay said nothing. So again, it looks like there's friction here between the Bloodline. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit interesting. It's a lot more interesting now than it had been for months. I felt like for months it was the same shit. Now you have Sami Zayn being kicked out, and you have Jey Uso, conflicted to where his loyalties lie. The story is a little bit more exciting, but still, I mean, people are making it as if this was like, the best television ever put on TV, and it simply wasn't. Then Natalya comes out, and she says she's got a lot to get off her chest. Yeah, probably fucking fake implants. She says for the first time in 15 years, she's been injured or whatever. She hurt her nose. Shayna Baszler busted her nose. Baszler comes out. Natalya calls her a knockoff Ronda Rousey. Baszler goes to attack Natalya, but before she can, the music of Ronda Rousey hits. Rousey makes her return to the ring. Baszler tells Rousey not to hit Natalya, so then she hits her instead, and then it's a double team. And then Shotzi Blackheart comes out and makes a save. And the problem is, Shotzi Blackheart has to be the most unathletic person I have ever seen. There's more athletic ability in Big Daddy V's deceased tit than there is in the entire body of Shotzi Blackheart. Now, I don't mind Shotzi Blackheart. She's pretty attractive. Is what it is. Got a nice, cool looking appearance. She does look different. That's great and all that stuff. But in terms, from a performance standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, she just does not have it. She looks awkward as fuck when she moves, when she runs, when she wrestles. There's just nothing good about Shotzi Blackheart. And again, it's hypocrisy of people pretending that all the women are great and that they love women's wrestling. If a male wrestled like Shotzi Blackheart, people would be crying for the WWE to release him. They would be chanting, "You can't wrestle." But Shotzi sucks, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Oh, she's great, whatever. She's not great. She absolutely sucks. Probably the worst female wrestler currently in WWE. Then Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, they beat up Natalya and Shotzi. Whoop-de-doo. We move on. We get Jey Uso. He's caught backstage by Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn says that he wants to thank Jey Uso for what he done at the Royal Rumble. He hasn't had the opportunity yet. And then Sami Zayn says he doesn't know how he's going to do it, but he's going to do what Jey has wanted to see for a very long time, and that is bring Roman Reigns down. Sami Zayn says he acknowledges Jey Uso, and he offers a fist bump, but Sami Zayn says he's not going anywhere until he gets fist bump. Jey Uso's telling Sami Zayn to leave. Then eventually Jey fist bumps Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn then leaves. So again, lots of different segments tonight with the Bloodline, which is cool. I like when they do this in wrestling with the main guys, when they do they have them in multiple segments rather than just do a one and done. I just don't know why they can't do this with more people that are over. Rather than just have them have one segment and finished, or one match then done. It's nice to see, the main event stars be integrated throughout the show several times. So, I like that. What did we get after that? We got Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. They lost to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Not really surprised. Then we get the main event. Emma comes out with Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss ends up winning the Fatal 4-Way, which I wasn't surprised about, but this guy is just a bomb. He is, man, I'm telling you, I'm sorry. But ever since he split up with Baron Corbin, the guy's got nothing. The guy is just nothing. The guy is just a cheap jokes. You look at the guy without Baron Corbin, and he's bland, and he's boring. The same with Rick Boogs. Not that I ever liked Rick Boogs, but you take away Rick Boogs from being Nakamura's guitar man, and you take away Pat McAfee selling for Rick Boogs, and Rick Boogs is just another fucking guy, just a plain vanilla Jane. So I'm not seeing anything with Madcap Moss or Rick Boogs, but yeah, Rick Boogs wins this Fatal 4-Way. He will now go on and face Gunther. He's already lost to Gunther, but next week we're going to get it Gunther versus Madcap Moss, and we got to see Gunther look down as Moss celebrated in the ring after he became the new WWE Intercontinental Champion. Then we go backstage one last final time before the show goes off the air with Jimmy and Paul Heyman in their locker room in their office, and Paul Heyman says he was on the phone to Roman Reigns, and Reigns says that he doesn't want the Usos to turn up to Elimination Chamber. He says that Reigns needs an on-TV perspective. Apparently Reigns thinks that you can see things from home better than you can at the arena. We all know it's because the Usos aren't allowed to go to Canada, but you know, doesn't really matter. Heyman aggressively pats Jimmy on the arm and walks off. Then Jimmy looks a bit concerned as SmackDown goes off there. So there you go, guys. That's your SmackDown show. Was it horrible? No, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. It was decent. It was okay. But it wasn't great. You know, that's the big problem. I liked the Bloodline stuff. The tag match was pretty good. I mean, the main event was okay. Yeah, but apart from that, I mean, I'll give a 4 out of 10. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah, boom. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. Ronda Rousey returned and didn't even know she was gone, to be honest. I mean, who cares about Ronda Rousey? Seriously, at this stage, you're better off just staying away. You are fucking shite. I've gave her the benefit of the doubt so many times, but Ronda Rousey is weird. She just gets worse. You know, she was at her best when she debuted in the WrestleMania match, and then her initial run, her first run when she was a champion was okay. It was okay, I'll be honest, but for some reason, she gets worse and worse. Now, normally you think you get better with experience. The longer you do this, the better you get. But for some reason with Ronda Rousey, it is the complete opposite. It's like the longer she does this, the worse she gets. And I just don't quite understand it, guys. But anyway, it's going to 4 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you thought down below. And yeah, we're approaching the Elimination Chamber. And in my opinion, probably the 2 worst Elimination Chamber matches of all time. So let me know what you think down below. I'll catch you in the next one. And of course, till then, been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching. Peace.